Hi Josh, we're going to play some more Stoneblock 2 today. I discovered something during this episode. I recorded the clip and added it into the episode and then realized I could just tell you about it during the intro and, not talk about it twice. And it would also make the intro a lot easier to record from within the base without giving away spoilers. Do you notice what I'm talking about? The minimap's gone. There's a hotkey that I didn't know about until 7 episodes into this series that lets me just remove the minimap so I don't spoil the entire episode while I record my intro, after the fact. We are going to get into a whole bunch of stuff today. So why don't we jump right into it and we'll just get some stuff done around here. I've come up with a couple of partial solutions. These may not be entirely partial, actually. These may be great solutions. So we got a couple of mechanical crafters as rewards for finishing tasks. And these things, it says grid power because extra utilities is the mod that uses grid power instead of RF, but these don't actually require any grid power. So originally I was starting to get concerned that this storage crate was filling up. And so I made these drawers that these 4 are for the pebbles, for andesite, diorite, granite, and stone. And these are for the 9 types of piece, the ore pieces that we can get. There are 9 that we can get from sifting. And these mechanical crafters, I just hooked them up with item conduits underneath the drawers. And basically, why is it getting the wrong? I'm going to have to filter all of these. Okay, lesson learned. I have to set up filters because all of these pipes are connected back there. I can just disconnect them and we'll be fine. But basically what you do is you tell it the recipe that you want, and then it takes in the things that it needs, and it puts out the things that you told it to craft. And it's just always on. So now I can take an output out of each of these crafters and send it wherever I want to send it. We don't have storage for blocks yet, so these will stay. These need to go to furnaces. So I'm going to do that. But this is kind of the furnace solution that we've got going on right now. This is set up for uranium grit, and this is set up for crushed black quartz, because both of those come in from sifting. And I just took it out from the medium storage crate, put it in here, and I put, you can't really see, but below is the output. This is the input for coal, and this is the input for the items. So I just took coal directly from our big storage system over there, routed it over here. It's automatically feeding coal into the furnace anytime it needs it. And back here, it puts in either the uranium grit or the crushed black quartz. And when it's cooked, it goes out into the system, into the ingot storage and the non-ingot shinies, whatever. Eventually, I'm going to hook this cobblestone thing up to this, but right now this is just a crate. It doesn't have any hookup. I could dig out the back of the wall and just kind of loop it around, but I'm a little concerned about cable clutter, I guess you could say. Kind of like building a computer. You don't want cables everywhere, and I really prefer not to have item conduits just everywhere. I'm gonna start building filters, I think. I've got plenty of filters that I've been using a lot, but now I'm gonna have to start putting filters on all of these crafters. I've already got filters on all the drawers. If you come back here with me, each drawer has a filter, so it only takes in that type of piece. And that's fine for drawers because drawers can, if you build a basic 1-item drawer, it can only hold 1 item. I never thought the crafters were going to take in the wrong items because it's got the recipe right here. This is all it needs. I don't know why it's taking in things it doesn't need. Just because it can, I guess. So I'm going to go back there and I'm going to filter all this stuff. I'm going to fix this, but I just wanted to show you that there is a solution, and I really like the way that this presents, especially it's got the little hologram of the thing it's crafting. I love the way that this is presented. Now I just have to cook these chunks. And I think I might do that right here. I might put furnaces in the floor. Huh. No, I don't think that'll work because we need to put the coal in on the top. So we will have to do that elsewhere. So I will take the output through the floor below the mechanical crafter and bring it somewhere else, and we'll figure that out as we go. But for now, as you can see, even the iron, which was my major concern, I was so concerned that the iron would fill up that I even considered putting a second storage upgrade on it. And then I found those mechanical crafters sitting in the crate full of our winnings. Anyway, let me go fix all of this. I've got to find like one of everything before it gets crafted and build filters. I seem to have solved the power problem. So I've been reading up on all the different generators that you can make, and it turns out that I also expanded the room. It turns out the easiest fucking thing in the world is just making coal generators. So I fed in an item conduit. It actually comes out here, but I moved it over here so that it was behind the generators. It's like right behind this wall. It's right here. Yeah, this feeds off of the same line that's going to all our storage units, and the same coal that's feeding the two furnaces over there. I don't know if I've showed you this, but I created just a dump chest, and I just dump things that go in storage. You know, usually when I need to build something, I need iron, redstone, and coal, and I'll just grab a stack of each, no matter how much I need. And then when I'm done, I just hop down here and put it all in the dump chest. Those 8 coal generators, I mean, they're going to be eaten through coal, but these guys are all productive, and it looks super cool to see all those ghost hammers just grinding away, and all my little slaves sieving away. I don't want to fucking hear it. At least it's not villagers this time. So I'm gonna have to get the furnace situation figured out very soon, because this is becoming a problem. And I'm gonna have to figure out how to route this through. But I did upgrade this cobblestone generator up to 3, and now it's keeping this. It's filling this up. So I may make a shit ton of diamond hammers to speed these up. But I am concerned that if I speed all of these up, these guys won't be able to keep up, and the whole system will just back up anyway. And I'll have wasted a shit ton of time. And, you know, you can't stack diamond hammers, so I can only fit as many as I can get in my inventory, and then come in here and, you know, fill these, and then go back for another batch. It'd just be a giant pain in the ass, and I'm worried that it would be worthless. Now, my next task might just be to go to the end and just mine a shit ton of end stone, because we are capable of making, you know, of sieving crushed end stone, and we get cool stuff like chorus flowers and shulker pearls and ender lilies, and I don't know what they're all used for, but we've only got a few of them, and I'd like more. I don't know if we're really going to need too much more power, because everything that I'm reading online about this mod pack says that Stoneblock 2 really does not use a lot of power-sucking machinery. So this may be kind of the majority of our power drain, and so what we've already done may be the majority of our power generation. I don't know. It depends on where we go with this mod pack. I mean, there's still a lot left to do, but I think Project E is maybe a power-based thing. I don't know about extreme crafting, but I think Draconic Evolution is kind of a standalone, no power situation. Mystical Agriculture doesn't require a whole lot of power unless you want to use garden cloches to grow, like your Inferium essence all the way up through your other stuff. And Thaumcraft is definitely a power-free mod. It focuses on magic. So we may not need to create too much more power, but I do want to finish this room, and I don't know, we might fill it with more power generation. Oh, these guys seem to be doing pretty good. Yeah, some of these guys are staying completely full, at least a few of them are, and all of these are staying full, so we could make more of these, and the crucibles that we currently have would be capable of supporting some number of further magmatic dynamos. So, I mean, we have like, I don't know, 30 more down in the crate downstairs. So I might do that. I might just keep adding dynamos until, very slowly, of course, because you got to wait until the crucibles kind of find their resting place. But these three are still full, and it seems to be holding steady like that. So it looks like, what, six? I think 6 crucibles, roughly, are powering all of these. And I'm not going to bother doing the math, but yeah, this guy just drained a little bit, and he's already filling back up. So it looks like we could add, I don't know, maybe the rest of this wall's worth of magmatic dynamos, you know, a double stack like we've already got, and amp up our power generation even more. I guess it all depends on how many more machines we plan on making. If we've got enough power generation right now to satisfy all of our machines, then I'm going to call it good. I'm not going to build a bunch of power generation that we don't need. Like, all of these guys seem to be full, and they are all very satisfied. I have a feeling if I go upstairs and start studying those dynamos, we'll find that a couple of them are starting to fill their batteries. Oh, nope, these are filling. And then once all their internal batteries are full, these things are all going to start filling their internal batteries, and then we'll have a surplus of power. So yeah, we really don't need to place any more power generation right now. So that's good to know. I am going to finish this room. I'm going to go make more seared bricks and at least make the place look pretty. We are looking good for now. We've got a ton of generation of stuff. I don't think we'll ever need this much ore, and I don't think we'll ever need this much stone. I was just doing this to get it done, just to get that stuff out of the crate. But eventually these drawers are going to fill up. And in the meantime, the crate is filling no matter what we do, because I haven't figured out what to do with all this nature crap yet. I'm trying to find... I started reading up trying to find a way to, I don't know, melt it all down into biofuel or something, but it looks like a lot of this stuff doesn't meet the requirements for going into any kind of biofuel generator or composter or fermenter or anything. This stuff might just be trash. I might just have to route it all into a trash can, because we do not need 4 stacks of potato seeds, 4 stacks of flax seeds. I think at most we would keep 1 flax seed to put in a cloche and 1 rice seed, and you know, I mean, we could use canola seeds to make canola oil and then turn that into biofuel. But as we just saw, we don't need a bunch of power generation. So I really don't know what to do with all these. I might just trash them. But I'm keeping all of these, and we are just going to throw them all down and break them all and get a shit ton of crystals and start Thaumcraft at some point soon. Yeah, what the fuck am I going to do with 4 stacks of grass seeds? I really don't know. Since we co-opted the smelting room for our hammer and sieve operation, we need to rebuild the smelter. And I've dug out a nice big room down here, just past where we want to build the kitchen. And I'm going to make a very large smeltery. I decided to build it over here because, as you can see through these little poke holes that I made, this is the cow room. Hello, coal cow. Each cow stall extracts fluids, whatever fluid that cow makes, and stores some. I believe it stores 10, up to 10 buckets. And we need to drain it out somehow, and we need to do something with it. I tested this in a creative test world, and my original thought was that we can attach fluid conduits to each of these cow stalls, and then use a smeltery drain to input the fluid via fluid conduit into a smelter. Now we can do that, or we can just drain the fluid directly into casting basins, and then have the casting basins attached to item conduits that will pull them out into storage. I love this idea. We're going to have to add storage for blocks of items, but that's not going to handle all of the items that we want to make. Some items, like the liquid ender, or whatever it's called, makes ender pearls. So we're going to need to use the casting tables with I believe it's called a gem cast. We're going to need to make gem casts for stuff like ender pearls, which we won't have any problem making. It's just molten gold and emerald, and it makes this. And then the liquid ender pours into this on a casting table and creates an ender pearl. I haven't tested if you can pull from that with an item conduit, but I'll check that. I also want to use demonically gargantuan drums as a storage buffer for each cow. Now this number is measured in millibuckets, so you have to strike off the last 3 zeros to get the actual bucket count. Right now there are 19 buckets of water in this drum, and the drum can hold 65,500 buckets, and they're really easy to make. So this is how you make a demonically gargantuan drum. It requires 6 demon ingots, which is convenient because here's our molten demon metal cow. So we can pull this guy's product right out, and this stall is currently holding 10 buckets worth, and we can just bring it right into the smelter, or we can bring it into a casting basin directly, and we can get our demon ingots no problem. The other thing that's required to build this is Klein bottle, which is super easy to make. We have a glass chicken and an ender pearl chicken, so we can make endless Klein bottles if we want. And each demonically gargantuan drum requires the next lower tier of drum, and that requires the next lowest, so forth and so on. So a reinforced large drum is just diamonds, gold, and an iron drum, which is literally just iron. So these are super easy to make for us right now. So we're going to make a storage buffer demonically gargantuan drum attached to each cow stall, and then we're going to have those go directly into casting basins for the ones that we can just make blocks of metal with. And the ones that we can't make blocks of metal with, we're going to pipe into the smelter and have it output into casting tables with those gem casts or ingot casts or whatever else we need. The reason I dug this hole is because this is the size that I want the smeltery to be. And I'm not sure if I want the bottom of the smelter to be this size or if I want the walls to be this size. We'll have to figure that out. I do like the idea of having plenty of room to move around, but I might put the walls right here on this layer, because that still leaves us 3 empty blocks after we have casting basins and tables. And I love the idea of it being this large because it can just continue to get stuff input into it, and we can put drains all along these sides. That's 9 blocks per side. So this will be an 11 by 11 construction when we're done with it, with 9 possible spots for drains. I'm pretty sure we can put the controller here on the corner and it'll still function, and then we can put the lava reservoir on the other corner, or probably directly above the controller or something, and that'll be out of the way of the drains because the drains can't be on the corners. I think I want to dig this one more block down, and that will let us into the conduit subfloor down there once we dig it. As you can see, we're outside of that range, but I am going to be extending that subfloor to encompass this room too. So I will dig that down, and we don't want to interfere with the conduit subfloor, but we want to take maximum advantage. And then, because I don't want to interfere with the subfloor, or with our storage room if it ever expands this large, we're going to build up instead. So the smeltery will start with the brick floor on this level that we're looking at, and the walls starting right here on this level that we're standing on, and then just go up into the ceiling for as much as we need. I'm not sure how big a smeltery can get, but I'm guessing pretty damn big. That will set us for a lot of items. We'll have all sorts of slime, we'll have iron, steel, demon metal over in that corner, we'll have gold, all sorts of stuff. And I think the cows are maybe more extensive than the chickens. Never mind. There are definitely more chickens than there are cows. But we will get some stuff out of cows that we can't get out of chickens, like bronze and some of the other colors of slime. I don't know what vivid alloy is, but I know there's not a chicken for that. So we will be getting another variety of stuff. Yep, it looks like the fluid conduit works with the casting table, and the item conduit works pulling items out. This is great news. All right, well, we are going to be set for automating a lot more stuff then. Well, I don't really know what to do about this. I didn't know mobs could spawn in here. We have blood in the smelter. Okay, so I busted this place open, and there's way more than just that one gunpowder. I made a mega torch, so it prevents mobs from spawning in a 64 block radius. It's really the only thing I could think to do. We're gonna put this, I guess, in the back. Against the wall or against the smelter? I guess against the wall. That'll leave us a little bit of extra room for drains if we need them. We made a little bit of progress in here. I counted up how many cows there are in this mod and then just made enough cow stalls to house them all. This is how we're going to do it. I'm going to attach fluid conduits to the bottom of each one and a drum directly below a single fluid conduit. That way it's still in the ceiling of the subfloor, and then we can just we can do all of the block conversion for stuff like coal and stone and clay down there, and stuff like water can just be routed either into that drum, or if I don't know if we can make bigger containers. I think the drum will be fine for stuff like water and milk. We may not ever need them. I have to figure out stuff like the slimes. I think they make blocks, but I haven't tested it yet. And all the rest of it, I mean, lead, steel, gold, those are easy calls. I bred one more cow. Where are you? Oh, he was sneaking around behind me. End steel. There we go. End steel. Yeah. And I was trying for platinum tin, I think. Yeah, I was trying for platinum tin and end steel because we had enough cows that I could try breeding all three of those pairs. But end steel's the only one that took after 2 tries, so it's slow progress. But you know, we're making our way. I'm going to probably try to organize these into groups of like all of the metal blocks, all of the stuff that we can make into block form can go in one area, and then the stuff that stays liquid goes in another area. Not sure exactly how many of each there will be. That might be something that I can do when I'm not feeling anything else. I can just go through the cows and categorize them. Anyway, back to the other progress that we've made. There's a room that I want to share with you. We made our kitchen. It is not 100% complete yet. I want to put cabinets up, and I want to put a cow in this jar, but that means I have to catch another cow, because apparently you need to get a cow to stand on this and then drop an anvil on it. So that's a thing. That's a real thing that you need to do, which is kind of funny. I'll make sure that I get that on camera. We've got a little spice rack. We've got our toaster. I was right, it has to sit on a counter. We've got our stove, we've got a fruit basket, a fridge. I've already upgraded with an ice unit, and I upgraded the stove with a heating unit, which means we'll have to power it. I did knock out the floor down there, so I know where to run power. We will have a cow in a jar. For now, we just have a milk jar that I could put milk in manually if I wanted. We've got a little sink that splashes when I right-click it. Got a tool rack and the cooking table. So this will give us whatever potential recipes we have based on what's, I think, in any of these cabinets. So I made a whole bunch of counters to connect everything, and I'm not sure if the cabinets are going to count once they're up on the walls. I'm not sure how that works. But I would like to make them at least for decoration purposes, if not for functional purposes. And I made the floor, and I just slapped together the ceiling, kind of like we've seen in other rooms. And I like it. I like it. I think it's a cute little kitchen. It's nothing special, and I kind of doubt that we'll even use it because we've got these stupid overpowered cooked apples. But it looks cool, and I mean, we've got the room. Why not, you know? So we're making progress on the base. We're making progress on the cows, and I do want to do some more work on the cow item conversion stuff. So right now, I accidentally had 2 stalls with coal in it, so now I've got 2 buckets of coal. I'm just going to continue doing this, where I'm attaching the conduit and the barrel, and or the drum. And I think what I'm going to do for item conversion for stuff like clay and steered stone and coal and stuff, I'll put a liquid conduit right there in the block that I'm pointing at right now. I'll remove this block, and I'll put an item conduit sticking out here. And then right here in this block, I will put the basin, the casting basin. And then from there, I can just run a pipe down into the storage room, You know, I can connect all of the basins that we've got and just slap it into this line right here, and it'll go down into our storage room. So I will reorganize the storage room at some point to account for blocks, because right now we only have ingots, and that's been fine because chickens don't make blocks. But you know, sooner or later, we're gonna need gold block, we're gonna need iron block, we're gonna need redstone block. I think we're definitely gonna need a coal block. So this may require a bit of a redesign, but because we moved the smelter, we've got just nothing but room, so we can expand in any direction we need to. It seems there's been a slight development in the cow room. You may notice a name tag. Well, we got 2 more cows spawn in, and a compressed sheep. I've no clue where he came from, where any of these animals came from. We only had 1 cow in here. So I'm gonna go get one of these nets and do something about this sheep. Now, I don't know if you remember how compressed mobs work in this game, but we're about to go have a bit of a wild time here. So here's our compressed sheep. Watch this. We've got a whole bunch more sheep now. God, they're fucking loud. Okay, we're gonna try this thing. Can I... Yes, I can place that there. Okay, now I need to put something there, and I'm wondering if I can get away with just doing this. That's hilarious. I love it. Alright, I guess I go put this in the kitchen, huh? I think those random cows spawning in our cow paddock was pretty fortuitous. We really, really don't need all this milk. With a cow in one of those things, we've got effectively endless milk, but it's funny. To give you a time reference in the real world, I am recording this clip the day after my first stream, wherein I played Satisfactory, and it was amazing. Well, just now I was running down this hallway, and I hit C because I forgot I'm not playing Satisfactory right now, and I tried to slide jump to get moving quicker, and I opened this menu, and apparently there's a magic mod that we can get into by building a couple of simple things, these CAD assembler and iron CAD assembly, and just dropping some redstone dust. Yeah, you see my screen just came out of sprint mode. Is Psi one of the things that we can get into in here? I don't think it is. It is not. So it's not part of the achievement tree in this book. So we may or may not get into Psi. I'm not gonna expect you to hold out hope for that because I'm kind of just hoping to do some quests. But that was really strange. I just hit C and this popped up and it really startled me. So I've been reviewing the footage that I've already got recorded, and I was talking about having to completely modify our storage so that we can also fit blocks for all of these different, well, not the milk, but, you know, all the different things that we can turn into blocks. I picked a bad section because I've got clay, water, and milk all right here. Let's see. Things that we can turn into ingots. Lead, steel, gold, all this stuff. We don't need to do that. I just figured out that I can put a casting table, and I can just right-click it from any direction. It doesn't have to be from the top to put the ingot cast on there. And then I can just run item lines down and put them into storage. I am making seared bricks right now, and this will work for any ingot. So I'm pretty sure that for the majority of things that are available in ingot or gem form, we can just do this. So I'm going to let this keep making seared bricks, and I'm going to make an absolute ton of these casting tables, and we're going to set the system up like this. Anything that can make an ingot or a gem, we're going to do this and pipe them all down into the system. And I'm going to leave this stuff up right here so that it's in the ceiling. and then I'll run item conduits, just connect them over to here, and then they'll all go right into the system. I'll let you know when that's done. I am just finishing up the last of this, I guess, leftmost row. This row is still empty of cows, and this row only has a few. This is our demon metal drum, and I was making blocks of demon metal, so I don't want to waste this, so I'm not going to break this casting basin, but as soon as this is full and makes a block, I'm going to try to get rid of this without wasting too much demon metal, and I'm going to do this like we've been doing everywhere else. So as you can see, I've got casting tables in place in several places. This is all of the drums and all of the cows that can currently make ingotable metal. I know ingotable is not a word, but it sounds funny, and I like the way it feels in my mouth. So I'm going to keep saying it. So we've got gold, steel, lead. We've got iron, seared stone, which is what we make the seared bricks and all of these casting tables and everything out of. Platinum, end steel, and crude steel. And then over here we've got demon metal, which we can't mess with yet, and we've got molten dark steel. So we are going to turn all of this stuff into ingots, and these are the only two that I haven't hooked up. This is the only one that I've got a casting table attached to that I haven't hooked up. But all the rest of these are making ingots. Now, they're not all going into storage, and the ones that aren't going into storage aren't making more ingots. So we can just go along and check. Like, this is crude steel, and it is not currently doing anything because we don't have crude steel in storage. But, aha, iron. See this? We can watch it in progress as it does the thing. It makes an iron ingot and immediately pulls it out and starts to make the next one. This is perfect. That means it's going into storage because we've got it hooked up right over here. So I'm going to add all of this stuff into storage. I will get this row hooked up as well. And then I will get this, what is this, dark steel? I'll get dark steel going. Okay, I've been sitting down here in the cabin in the woods storage room trying to figure out how many ingots worth of storage we need for all the cow stuff. And remembering that our chicken drops end either here or like one of these two drawers. I'm not 100% sure on that. I see that we have 12 here. That makes 24. That's 36. And then our gems start. After going through the list of liquid cows and totaling up the number of things we are capable of turning into ingots, including clay, which we can turn into bricks, and that won't hurt us because we've got a clay chicken, we have 39 cows that can make ingots, and that's a little bit more than we've got here. And also I had stonium just sitting up here. I had a stack of 40 stonium, so that would be 40 things. We are a little bit shy, and I'm wondering if that's going to be an issue for us or if we can just roll with it. I would like to alphabetize things if possible. But I'm going to double check the chicken stuff real quick and see if there's just a couple extra, because that could really help us out. If we fall like 2 slots short, not a big deal, because there's stuff in there that we might never get around to making, like vivid alloy and infinity and stuff like that. But also, I'm pretty sure when I was setting up this like gems and precious things area, I think I left extra room over here. So worst case scenario, we could always just kind of bump a couple things over, like stonium. We're probably never going to make stonium, so I can just stick it somewhere. And we've only got one gem that's going to come from cows, and that's ender pearls. And those go right here in the mob drops. So we should be good to go, I think. So I'm going to start putting things in alphabetical order. And whatever we've got, we've got. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. No, we don't have 39 things, because I included stuff like lead and iron and gold that we've already got over here. Alright, let me go through this again and double check. Okay, I just counted everything up and compared it against the list of chicken drops. And 23 of these ingots that we can get from cows are shared with ingots that we can get from chickens. There are only 16 unique, which is perfect, because that means that we can just leave the one or two that will be empty over here empty just in case, just to cover our bases, make sure I didn't forget anything. And then we can just fill one of these and a few more over here. And we don't even need to cross over into this side of the row. So that's perfect. So I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start putting things away, and I'm going to start figuring things out and get everything connected up. Well, it's already connected up. The gold and the iron and the lead are already coming in. But stuff like steel that we don't have a steel chicken yet, and platinum that we don't have a platinum chicken yet, and stuff like crude steel that doesn't come from a chicken. I'm going to get that all sorted. Okay, everything that we are currently making from the cows and turning into ingots and sending into storage is being sent into storage. I think that seared bricks are probably one of the fastest movers by virtue of cooling the fastest in the casting table, so we can actually watch this happening. On the other hand, we've got stuff like, what is it, end steel? End steel. It's going to move a lot slower because it cools a lot slower. So if you were to do it manually in the table, you'd see the liquid pour in inside the cast, and then that progress bar up in the top center of the screen right under the one probe readout would be counting very slowly as compared to seared bricks. We've got other stuff like platinum. We're making platinum for sure. And we're making steel. That stuff is shared in common with chickens, so I left it in the chickens area. If I had been thinking ahead on this, I probably would have combined the two areas so everything could be alphabetized. And if I really wanted to, I could re-alphabetize the thing to make it settle my OCD a little bit. But I'm not going to worry about it right now. I just want to get everything moving. And this is moving really, really well. So, I don't know that I necessarily like this as a permanent solution, but it works really, really well. And I think that I might just leave it this way because once it's all in place and we've got the cows all dealt with, we don't need to ever think about it again. It can just be another thing that's being done. And why am I hearing another cow moo? I put them in nets. As I said, I put them in animal nets. And we got another random cow spawn. And we got more chickens and sheep. I put all the sheep in nets. Alright. You guys are making me real unhappy right now. I don't know what to do with these chickens. I don't know if I need chickens or roosters for anything. So I'm just going to net them all. And I'm going to try to keep these places empty for now. I have been told by a fellow homesteader who started playing this that there are sound mufflers, so we can shut the sheep up. I will explore that next episode, I think. Come here, cow. And for now, I'll just keep everything in nets. But I would really, really like for these animals to be quieter. But for now, any animals that spawn, I'm just going to keep netting them. And I'll probably have to make more nets, but they are literally only sticks and string. So they are super cheap and super easy to make. And we can just make them in bulk and capture all the animals. Alright, buddy, I know that this episode is a little bit all over the place, and most of the series is. And I think that's just part of the series, or maybe it's just my playstyle in this series, but there's just so much in this book, it's kind of hard to, take things one episode at a time. It ends up all over. It goes a little bit crazy. There's just a lot to do. Hopefully going forward I can make things in a more episodic way, because I know that this series has been kind of chaotic. But I think that part of that is because I was recording so much of this series way, way ahead of time in long play sessions. And right now, little behind the baseball, I am 100% caught up on my footage. So I'm going to be making this series in real time for the next few episodes, just like I've been making Homestead in real time, and just like I was making the vanilla Minecraft series in real time. So I'm going to try to make this a little bit more episodic so it's less chaotic and so that it makes a little bit more sense. Maybe it'll make it easier to watch. I sure hope so. But that's going to be it for today. I think that we got some serious accomplishments done today. We got the big smelter going now. I don't know how badly we're going to need the big smelter, especially since we figured out the casting table thing for all the liquid cows. But maybe we'll explore that next episode and see what we need the big smelter for. if we need the big smelter at all. But that'll just have to wait until we get to next episode. I will talk to you soon, brother. I miss you.